Hello and welcome to The Big Picture with me, Ishan. Today we focus on the standoff between the centre and the Delhi government, as nearly a third of the Aam Aadmi Party legislators in Delhi might face disqualification after President Pranab Mukherjee refused to sign a bill that allowed the 21 MLAs to hold a second paying position as Parliamentary Secretary. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal tweeted out against the Prime Minister, alleging, and I quote him, "Modi ji does not respect democracy," while the BJP and the Congress have called the decision right. So the question that faces us today is, will this lead to the disqualification of the 21 MLAs of the Aam Aadmi Party? What are the next steps and larger political questions as well? Tonight, I am joined by Richa Pandey Mishra, National Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Gopal Krishna Agarwal, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Abhishek Dutt, spokesperson of the Delhi Congress, and Satya Prakash, legal editor at the Hindustan Times. Richa, I'll start with you. The simple question is, first, let's put the context in place over here. Why the need for appointing 21 MLAs as parliamentary secretaries? Explain the rationale behind that, please. Okay, we seem to have lost the audio link with Richa there. We'll try to re-establish that. But Satya, I'll put that question to you. Why, and this is apparently a norm, as the Aam Aadmi Party has been saying across many states, Gujarat, Punjab as well, that it is okay to appoint MLAs as parliamentary secretaries. But why is that necessary?
Well, that is primarily because of the fact that there is a limit as to the number of persons or number of MLAs or MPs who can be appointed as ministers, as opposed to 15% of the total strength of the House. But generally, they try to placate all the members or maximum number of people, and that is why most of the assemblies, ruling parties, they appoint MLAs as parliamentary secretaries. But in this case, what the mistake committed by Aam Aadmi Party government was that they did not first amend the law, and then, because previously even Sila government had I suppose 3 members as parliamentary secretaries, but nobody challenged that, and this is how they continued. But in this case, it has been pointed out that they were holding office of profit, and this is prohibited. Prohibited means under the Constitution, Article 102 talks about Parliament, Article 191 talks about assemblies. In this case, about Delhi, you have Section 15 of the NCT Act 1991, which specifically prohibits any MLA from holding office of profit, so except the ministers, which are exempt in any case, both at the central level and state level. Or there are 2 exceptions. First is provided in the law itself, that if they are ministers, they are exempt, or any other post which has been exempt by a law enacted by Parliament or a state assembly, or in this case by the Delhi Assembly.
So as the law stands right now, 21 MLAs of the Aam Aadmi Party would be disqualified from the Delhi Assembly.
Because the President has refused to sign that bill, it means it cannot be rectified retrospectively, meaning thereby now they are staring at disqualification, and the President, as per Section 15(4) of the NCT Act, the President will go by the opinion of the Election Commission, which is already seized of the matter. The day Election Commission recommends, the President will accept it, and all 21 will have to be disqualified.
All right, so indeed a political turmoil then going on in Delhi. But Gopal, the Aam Aadmi Party really hitting out at the central government, saying that even the Prime Minister does not respect democracy, as Mr. Arvind Kejriwal had tweeted out. What would be the BJP's response? Because it's been a constant sort of verbal duel between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP.
No, actually, I don't agree with this, that this is a duel between the centre and the Delhi state government. Is actually it's always the habit of Arvind Kejriwal to talk everything on, put everything, blame everything on the Prime Minister. It's his way of drawing attention from the people and the media, and I don't think that is one
about
thing.
The fact that the same practice is followed in Punjab and Gujarat.
Let me complete first.
Okay.
My contention is, this is not a duel between the centre and the state. It is whether the law of the land will take, or whatever Arvind Kejriwal or Aap Aadmi government wants to do, will it, that is the question. Okay. Real question is this.
Then I will pose the questions to you as far as your stand is concerned. But Richa Pandey Mishra is back with us. Thanks very much for joining us, Richa. And we wanted to establish context for this entire conversation about the necessity of appointing 21 parliamentary secretaries to the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. What was the need and what was the rationale behind this move?
Right, Rachel, appointing of parliamentary secretaries has been there in Delhi since a very long time. Mr. Sahib Singh Verma in the beginning felt the necessity of appointing a parliamentary secretary, and which he did after taking internal approval, and then Sheila Dikshit government also had it. It is not, there are 7 ministers in Delhi and there are so many ministries. These parliamentary secretaries are basically helping the ministers in day-to-day running of power supply, water supply, hospital, health and education. So they are basically helping the ministers to do day-to-day running of the government. And not only in Delhi, across the country, you will see that even Gujarat in 2009 March, Narendra Modi ji himself appointed, I think, 6 parliamentary secretaries. Now, Anandiben Patel has appointed another 5 parliamentary secretaries. In Haryana itself, Punjab itself, we have parliamentary secretaries.
Right.
So it is a precedent all over the country where whenever the state government feels like, they appoint parliamentary secretaries as per
All
the
right, so you're
requirement.
saying that it's to
It
take
is
the
very
load
surprising.
off the ministers to supplement them as well, and they're also not taking any money, as your party has been saying. But Gopal, and that's the charge, that it's okay in Punjab, it's okay in Gujarat, but not okay in Delhi. Why?
No, actually this is, you cannot compare that whether it is, you can challenge if it is not legal there. The question here is very simple. Why we complicate it? Whether this appointment of 21 people was within the law or was it wrong? Legally it is wrong. Otherwise, why AAP government had to pass a bill in the majority first of thing if it was not unlawful to appoint them? Why they came out, and then when the bill was not clear, then they have come out with an ordinance. That means they have themselves accepted that what they have done of appointing 21 cabinet secretaries was bad in the law and wrong in the law. That is very clear. That had been already challenged. It was going under the legal process. To subvert that legal process and to clear the issue where they wanted their own say. So this is the only issue debatable, whether this is under the law of the land or it is wrong.
And as the law stands right now,
that. Why they are talking in
all right,
Gujarat,
as the law stands right now, as Satya has explained,
this is just
that
a divert.
this
I
is,
can say central
you're saying it's a
government has done
diversionary
that,
tactic. Satya wanted to come in very quickly.
What I wanted to point out, per se, appointing a parliamentary secretary is not illegal. What is illegal is, in this case, these are not non-office of profit. What happens is, if you declare it by law enacted by the State Assembly, declare it as office of not office of profit or non-office of profit, then they are saved. Otherwise, the moment it's office of profit, and the law is very clear, even if, and there are Supreme Court verdicts to this effect, Jaya Bachchan had to lose her seat.
Sonia Gandhi also.
Sonia Gandhi was forced to resign, and thereafter the post of that's chairperson of the National
Advisory
Advisory
She
Council.
voluntarily resigned. I have to
That
correct you on this.
that was exempt by.
She voluntarily resigned.
We all know, sir, and that was exempt by an amendment to the law.
Okay.
And thereafter, she continued with
forced.
that. What I am pointing out is, even if you are not taking even a single penny, even then you are you will be disqualified, because the Supreme Court said
All right, the Supreme Court is very clear on this. As far
because
as
this is about keeping the legislators immune to executive pressures. This is about separation of power.
Okay.
There are certain constitutional principles involved, and that is why this has been done.
Okay, very quickly, but very quickly, first the Congress Party, because the Congress Party today came out and said that this is the right decision by the President to return this bill, and as the Aam Aadmi Party has already pointed out, Abhishek, that even Sheila Dikshit, when she was Chief Minister, had parliamentary secretaries, had the same position. So in that sense, a little bit of doublespeak.
See, first of all, I need 1 minute. I've been waiting for an opportunity to speak. Two things. First of all, you know, the Aam Aadmi spokesperson said the minister has got a lot of responsibilities. First of all, there's a chief minister in Delhi who's got 0 department. So definitely he's got no accountability, because of which the pressure is coming onto the ministers. At the same time, if you look at the history of Aam Aadmi Party, it came as a movement where power was not the criteria, change was the criteria. when they had gone for elections in Delhi, they said they're not there for powers, they don't want red lights, they don't want ministership, they want to work for the people. If the intention was for these MLAs to work, then why were they made as parliament secretaries? At the same time, after they got appointed, there were huge signages all over Delhi made by the PWD, where each and every parliament secretary had put big signages outside in the entire city. That shows they were trying to put pressure onto the people by exhibiting their power. At the same time, the law which got passed from the Delhi Vidhan Sabha very clearly said the vehicle would be used for office purpose. At the same time, office space would be provided. All this is a clear example of office of profit. If they wanted to work for the city and they wanted to assist the MLAs, they could have the ministers. They could have done it without the position. Why the position? Aam Aadmi Party came out on a very different philosophy. And today, when you compare yourself to other political parties, it shows the philosophy on which you got vote was wrong.
All right, but you're admitting that the Congress party in the past and the BJP as well had done the same. Aam Aadmi Party's representative.
There is a difference between what they have done and what Aam Aadmi has done. If you pass a law, then enact a cabinet secretary, that's a legally, technically right process.
This was passed as a
they have not.
Okay.
They have Aam Aadmi Party have not enacted the law. They have breached the law process.
All right, I want to get to the Aam Aadmi Party
now
to
they are
respond to
taking
this.
a moral position.
Richa, coming back to
they
you.
cannot take both
All right,
positions,
Richa,
moral
coming
or
back to
legal.
you, was this a miscalculation by the Aam Aadmi Party? Was this a miscalculation by the Aam Aadmi Party?
Rachel, it looks like Rachel, it looks like only I am not there in the studio. It doesn't mean that I will not be allowed to speak.
No, you're allowed to speak. Go ahead, please.
Speeches going on right now. I want to point out, I wanted to clarify a couple of things here. When somebody here mentioned zero department taken by Arvind Kejriwal, it is very surprising that the Prime Minister, who is supposed to be the Prime Minister of the country, it seems he has taken all the departments to the PMO and made all other departments,
Let us speak,
all
please,
other
one by one.
ministers redundant. So these are, if you give such kinds of examples, these are very funny examples.
But was it a miscalculation on part of the Aam Aadmi Party?
And while talking about Sheila Dikshit ji, they also did pass a bill in retrospective. Sorry?
I was saying, is this a miscalculation?
They did also pass a bill in retrospective, and in other states also. Sorry?
Is this move a miscalculation? Is this a misstep by the Aam Aadmi Party? Do you think that...
Our party is different, and that is why what we are doing...
One by one, please. Nobody talks over each
Rachel,
other.
because our party is different and because what we are really working on, whatever we are saying, out of the 70 points which we had promised, we are fulfilling each one of them and we are working on each one of them. So to even a newspaper like Hindu has done a meter of in which they have clarified that each one of the promises which we
Richa, you're still not answering the question. You're still not answering the question because right now, Richa, the problem is that as far as how the law stands, 21 MLAs of your party could be disqualified. So that creates a huge political ripple in Delhi. And and there seems to be no answer to that, Satya. I mean,
what they did, or rather tried to do, was correct. That was the right course of action.
Earlier also the parliamentary secretaries,
but the problem
APJ
is that
Abdul Kalam Azad, when the file went to him, he accepted the whole thing. Here, when the bill went, they disqualified the bill on the first. So, and they are bringing precedent into the whole picture. So, BJP is trying to politicize the whole issue. Earlier also, the governments worked with the parliamentary secretaries, and in the states also they are working.
All right, Satya, go ahead, please.
So, they adopted the right course of action by enacting a law and giving it retrospective effect. But unfortunately for them, the government at the center is not a so-called friendly government, and hence they will have to face this music. And the second problem was initially they took high moral ground, and now with this they are in a way quote-unquote exposed, and this is what the BJP and the Congress are trying to do. And out of the 21 seats, if they lose even 5 or 6 in the re-election, then it will be a huge problem, and most likely the re-elections or by-elections would be would coincide with
The
Punjab,
assembly
no,
election.
Punjab elections.
Okay.
So that would be a huge problem for Aam Aadmi Party.
All right, so this is, in terms of politics, this could become a bigger problem, a bigger headache for you, Rich. I'll come back to you because I know you would want to respond to a lot. But as far as the BJP is concerned, Gopal, the allegation that is being made and by a senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, Ashutosh, and he says that it's the Home Minister who's supposed to know what is happening with the Delhi government, but it is the Prime Minister's office that interferes and takes such decisions. The Home Minister's not even in the know.
What Ashutosh has said or what Aam Aadmi, I am not going to answer. That's not the relevant here. What they may allegate anybody, but their allegation should have substance. They should answer there. What is the allegation? What is the case at hand? They are 21 MLAs are at the point of losing their membership, and they need to answer lot many questions.
As far as the adversarial nature of the centre,
what relation he is giving, from which angle he is saying that Home Minister and Prime Minister is involved? Well, you can say that Obama is involved. Like, these are such weird allegations which have no basis, and just to divert that.
We've not seen a confrontation like this between the centre and the state government for a long time
This is
right
not a centre versus state confrontation.
Okay, you're saying it's not a centre versus state.
Clearly state that.
But Richa, I want to know next steps. What is the next steps that the Aam Aadmi Party is planning to take? Because right now, as it stands, as the law stands, as Satya explained, 21 MLAs could be disqualified.
See, as we have recently just now heard on your channel itself, they are trying to destabilize the government because they have not been able to digest their defeat, their major defeat in the Delhi state. And what petty politics they did in Uttarakhand and other states, they are trying to do something like that here also. But the people of Delhi are very much aware about what is happening. These parliamentary secretaries have worked night and day in education department, in health department. I will give you one or two examples.
Richa, I'm asking you a very pointed question. I'm asking you a very pointed
Rakesh,
question. What are the next steps, legal steps? How are you going to protect these 21 MLAs if they're disqualified?
Of people who do not get admission in the hospitals. Praveen Deshmukh is...
They may have best intentions,
Richa,
but
that's not the point of it. If we're talking
and
from a
takes
legal point of view, please, if you could just answer the question, what are the next steps? Are you planning any legal recourse? What are your next steps as far as the 21 MLAs are concerned? Because right now, they could be disqualified for office of profit.
Their salary. So that we will see how to deal with it. But the point here is that the central government, the BJP-led government...
All right, we seem to have lost that audio link with Richa there. We'll try to re-establish that. But I guess you've heard the gist of the conversation over there. And the Aam Aadmi Party not really having an answer right now because it's really up against a wall right now, Satya, isn't it? Abhishek, that coming to you. As far as the Congress and the BJP are concerned, they seem to be together over here. And in fact, you think the centre has done the right decision by rejecting this bill?
No, we absolutely welcome this decision. But the point is very simple. This is what I was trying to explain to you even earlier. See, when this party came into power in Delhi, they projected a very different image. But the moment they got a thumping majority, if you look after that, the number of MLAs being involved in criminal cases, the number of MLAs being arrested in 1 year, they're all setting records for all the things that the city was never famous for. Where progress is concerned, no new buses have been added till now. Power situation is so bad that 50% of the electricity bill that they wanted to exempt, today the bills will be 50% because there's no electricity supply. Water crisis, Delhi is suffering. Last year, dengue was, in the history of the city, maximum cases of dengue cases were reported. If you look at the administration, there's an administration, nothing works in the city for the last 1 year.
All right.
Safai Karamcharis are on strike, pensions are not being paid because this government is very inexperienced. And the thrust for power is making them do all the things which are not allowed by the law.
Okay, and that is a question, Satya, the point he mentioned over there about inexperience, about not thinking this thing through before these appointments. Yeah. Is that a problem?
It is a result of inexperience. Had they been experienced, they would have enacted the law first and thereafter appointed all these 21 parliamentary secretaries. Now they are left with very limited options. One option is under section 25 of the NCT Act. They can reenact the law with or without amendment and send it back to the president. But thereafter, the president may not accept it again. It will come back again. But that is one course of action available under the law. The second is they can challenge it before the court of law, and thereafter they can see. But in both the cases, the chances of their succeeding in their attempt is very minimal. Most likely.
And as far as that disqualification immediately with immediate effect is concerned?
Because the petitions challenging their appointment as questioning their membership on the ground of office of profit, that is pending before Delhi High Court, that is pending before Election Commission. The day Election Commission recommends to the president, and now it appears, now there is no ground. Had this bill been ratified by the president, there was a ground for them staying as MLA. Now that ground is over. They are in real danger of losing their membership.
All right. So, indeed, a strong point over there. Gopal, final comment to you. The adversarial nature between the centre and the state, and this is quite apparent. I mean, you might deny it. You're saying there's
no, we are not denying. It's always Arvind Kejriwal is always talking everything leading to the Prime Minister.
All right. So, but the point is that it's not allowing a healthy democracy as envisioned in the Constitution to exist, or is it too healthy?
No. The democracy means that both should agree to a common agenda. That doesn't mean that the one person will say ki only my action. And one thing on this issue is office of profit is very clearly defined. It says what is office of profit. It doesn't say whether you have derived profit or not.
As far as other states are concerned, Punjab, Gujarat, where your governments are also there, then the same course should be taken?
No, if they had first enacted the law and then appointed, then it would have been, and appointed 21 secretaries, then it would have been an issue of morality.
Okay.
Whether, but legally they would have been sound enough. Now it is a question of legality and illegality. If they are disqualified, they should accept it.
Okay.
And why now talking of democracy and talking of Prime Minister? These are all rubbish what they are talking. They should say that we have done a wrong thing and that let the law take its course. What is there? What we have done out of it? It is the question of, it will go to the Election Commission, they will take a call.
Richa, I will give you the final word, but I'll quickly let Abhishek also add his final charge to this. Abhishek, you have 30 seconds.
My only contention is that the Chief Minister should focus in this city. He should not run around Punjab and Goa. He should focus on this city and try and work within the system. Don't invent system in case he wants to introduce a law. There's a procedure that he must follow, and he should follow the guideline on the basis of which the people of Delhi has voted for him.
All right, and that's a fair point, and Richa, that's also an allegation that many are making, that the Aam Aadmi Party, in trying to work out of the system, as the so-called system that the party was against, it will keep running into such confrontations. And also, if you have an answer to that, next steps, will you go to the court or will you send this bill back to the president again? Richa, can you hear me?
Hello?
Richa, go ahead. Did you hear my question? I was asking the next steps, and also the fact that is this a consequence of trying to work outside the so-called system that the Aam Aadmi Party was so against, that from legislative and the executive, the powers are getting merged, and there is some sort of a confrontation over there that is leading to such legal problems? All right, we seem to have lost the audio link, and we'll try to re-establish that and have this conversation another time. We'll have to wrap up the big picture over here, but the big news right now is that as the law stands right now, Satya, 21 MLAs of the Aam Aadmi Party could be disqualified from the Delhi Assembly. That has huge ramifications in the politics over here. I'd like to thank all my guests, Satya Prakash, Gopal Krishna Agarwal, Abhishek Dutt, and Richa Pandey Mishra of the Aam Aadmi Party for coming in. This is an issue that, of course, we will be revisiting very soon as this develops. Thanks so much for watching for now.